Hey guys, Brett Weiss here. Welcome to another video. I just got back from Video Game Summit outside of Chicago. I did a walkthrough of the vendor's room, which was huge, that I'm going to show you guys here in just a minute. There were a lot of great games, rarities, cool toys, all kinds of stuff, including imports and just a lot of box stuff for older and newer systems that you just don't see every day. Amazing stuff. And there was something very interesting about this vendor's room, very different than any other I've ever been to. So while we were in the Chicago area, we also checked out some local hotspots, some tourist attractions, including the Art Institute. We had some great pizza. We hung out with my good buddy, Adam Koralik. So much fun. My wife accompanied me on this trip and she was awesome. We had a blast and I want to show you guys some of this stuff. Holy cow, thank you Todd Friedman and company for putting on such a great show. So let's check out Video Game Summit 2023 and some of the sights and sounds of Chicago. Yo, we are at Love Field in Dallas, Chicago bound, Video Game Summit, here we come. Woo! We got here early, of course, to the airport, and I'm having a smoothie from Baskin-Robbins, mixed berry, and it's actually quite good. It's legit, not bad. When I arrive to an airport early, which is almost every time, the whole 2-hour early thing, as you know, I like to take about a 30 to 45 minute walk, not only to look around and pass the time, but also to get my steps in. And yes, this airport, Love Field in Dallas, does have a Whataburger. Always a good thing. Here we go. Away we go to Chicago, Chi-Town. Having some Lou Malnati's pizza tonight, meeting Mr. Adam Koralik. Cannot wait. Love me some Lou Malnati's. And Adam's all right too. Train is moving and we're headed to meet Adam for some za. Moving right along. All right, guys, we did make it to Chicago, meeting up with one Adam Koralik.
How you doing? I don't look good from behind. Why are you making me walk like this? Now I got to do this move. You're lucky I know these streets.
You look good all over.
No. My girlfriend will appreciate that.
Yes, she will. And here we are at Lou Malnati's. Excuse me. And of course, there's a wait, but we do have reservations. All right, the pizza has arrived, thankfully, because all I've had is smoothies today. I'm not even gonna taste it and then tell you how good it is, because I've already been here twice in my lifetime and I know it's amazing. There's Mr. Adam, he will vouch for the greatness of Lou Malnati's.
I will, but I will also give a pro tip. You've only had the suburb locations. Always go to the city locations.
Which we're at.
We are. These are company owned. The suburb locations are usually franchised, so they don't try as hard, to be honest.
I totally get it. So yeah, if you go to Lou Malnati's, which is the most amazing pizza I've ever had, deep dish, butter crust, thick, tangy, tomato sauce, incredible cheese. It is just the best. Now I'm gonna eat it. Had an excellent meal at Lou Malnati's. Ate a little more than I should have probably. Could have done without dessert, but it was delicious, but time to work it off and then head over to the convention center first thing tomorrow morning. Here we are at the McCook Athletic and Exposition. Different kind of venue for a gaming show, Video Game Summit. I'll show you what I mean when we go inside. All right, here we are, Saturday. This is a one-day show, so hopefully things will be rocking and rolling. As you can see, it is a very big room. And check out the AstroTurf. This is the first show I've done with AstroTurf, so we'll see if that is conducive or not conducing to sales. Or conducive, I should say. Anyway, let's take a look at the showroom floor and let's see what's out there. Check it out, guys. Big venue. Let's look at some tables. First table, extremely cool here. We got a lot of boxed and television stuff, including one of the best games for the console, excellent, who am I, Popeye? Excellent port of Lock and Chase. Love this maze game, a lot of fun. Speaking of maze, there's Mazatron. Tron-based games are so much fun to collect, so very cool. Big fan of that movie. Big box PC games, which you don't see too often, or at least outside of this type of venue. And even at these shows sometimes computer games aren't represented too well. Always love to see box Jaguar stuff. Big sucker for pinball, video pinball. Great stuff here. Shark Attack, also known as Lockjaw if memory serves. Great stuff. Wow. Awesome. Oh, the Jaguar CD, that's a holy grail for a lot of Atari fans. Awesome. Another grail, top loader for the NES. Tubs to dig through with cheaper games. Under the table, that's where I find a lot of my best deals. Everything from Atari to Switch I have seen at this show. Good variety of new and old school. GameCube, super hot system for collectors right now. We buy everything. Everything. That's if I took that literally, that could be really funny. Kid Clown, there's a grail, $1,200 for a boxed copy. Bubble Bobble 2, another toughie. Excellent. Whoa, Neo Geo Gold System. Massive console with a massive price back in the day and very hard to find now. Very cool. Thank you, sir. 2600 Commons. Who needs a copy of Combat or Asteroids? Tapeworm. Not a great game, but hey, not real common. $10, not bad. And did you know they ported Double Dragon to the 2600? Amazing. Kind of odd that they even tried it. It's not a great port, as you might imagine, but they did the best they could, and all things considered, what are you gonna do? Ooh, a sealed Donkey Kong 64, that is awesome. Got some graded stuff here. Love the Outrunners games. Outrunner. Earthworm Jim, one of my favorites. Toe Jim and Earl, I used to play that with my son when he was little, so cool. And then Panic on Funkatron also, the sequel. Tubs and tubs, people. SSX Tricky, man, my kids and I used to play this all the time, and my wife too, on the GameCube. I used to have this Elise figure. I may have to come back and get this. That is awesome. I really just need one out of the package, but I may have to resort to buying one in the package and opening it. Always love to see box 2600 stuff, of course. Alien, you know guys, this is actually a pretty good maze game. It's one of the better movie-based titles of the era. Not bad at all, I really enjoy it. And I kind of like, Fantastic Voyage. That's not a bad game either. Pretty cool stuff, 20th Century Fox. I didn't really care for the 2600 version. That's the ColecoVision version. Excellent, I love Tutankhamun. The scrolling is choppy, but it's still a great game. Not a big fan of the 2600 version of Tutankhamun. You can still find boxed games for the 8 and 16-bit eras. Most of them aren't going to be cheap though. There are a variety of shooters on the Genesis that have gotten really expensive. Troubleshooter is one of them, $350 CIB. King Kong, I've got a boxed copy of this beauty on the 2600. I've got card only for Threshold, a really cool shooter. Tubs and tubs and tubs, people. Great stuff.
I look for it every time, and I don't ever find it.
This is when I got my Genesis. As soon as they started packing it, when Sonic the Hedgehog came out, I got my Genesis in '91. That pushed me over the edge. I was definitely interested in getting a Genesis, but I didn't get one until then. Ooh, ColecoVision, you guys know how much I love that. Is this a sealed Cosmic Avenger? Sealed with some crud on it. But hey, $10. Not bad. Hello, how are you guys?
Good, how are you?
Awesome. The Master System. The box is so big. And the pause button is on the system. That's so bizarre. UMD of Tron. There's something I need for my Tron collection. May have to be back to this table. Just never got around to picking it up. Donkey Kong Classics, you guys know I just did a video on that game. Should have included Donkey Kong 3 in the collection. And at this booth, we've got some very desirable card-only games. Excellent condition, including Chrono Trigger. $270. And look, Super Mario World, very reasonable, $25. Retro gaming has gotten expensive, but you know, it's still affordable in some cases.
Yeah, I would put it on the front. It's in a protected case.
Rival Schools, that's a toughie. One I need to get for my collection. Donkey Kong Country, one of my favorite games of the 16-bit era. Space Invaders. I was just talking about this game the other day when I was interviewing for a forthcoming documentary, Nintendo 64 Quest. I decided Space Invaders as a sort of a hidden gem on the console. At least nobody talks about it that much, and it's a really good sort of reimagining of the original game.
Thanks, buddy.
Cool assortment of rare third-party stuff, unauthorized stuff for the NES.
Especially that one.
Oh yeah, Hot Slots, that's a toughie. For sure.
Come get your color dreams. I'll make all your color dreams come true. Well, not all.
Galactic Crusader, I actually have this game, and it's actually a solid shooter. Very old school. Really cool to see this rare NES stuff with the different kind of casings. Here we go. This guy's not fooling around. Brought out the big guns. Power Blade 2, holy cow. Cowboy Kid, very cool game, multi-genre.
Yeah, Cowboy Kid is a great game.
Yeah, for sure.
Fire and Ice is another highlight.
Yeah. Rockin' Cats, that's a good one. I really like the box for Rockin' Cats.
Yeah.
Fire and Ice, yeah, that's a toughie for sure. Power Strike, that's one of the harder to find Master System
The
games.
US one, they had a mail order for.
Mail order only.
Yeah, black and white.
Right, they were really cutting corners at that point.
So that's why I'm like, I gotta start figuring it out.
Wacky Races. Oh man, I passed on a box copy of this for $50 many years ago at Half Price Books, and I've been kicking myself ever since. It was stupid. I grew up watching that cartoon, but did I buy the game? No, because I'm an idiot. Ristar or Ristar, however you want to say it. Very fun platformer.
Thank you, sir. Cool.
And it's Matt from CGC. What's up, Matt? How you doing? What are you doing out here, if you don't mind me asking?
Just promoting CGC.
CGC, awesome grading company, working for Heritage Auctions. I see a lot of CGC graded games, great stuff, good quality casings, very cool on display. What would you want to tell Video Game Summit? We're here outside of Chicago. Tell me something about CGC that maybe my viewers may not know about.
So we offer all types of different cases. So we have 4 different cases that hold all types of different games, right? So anywhere from Nintendo, Atari 2600, Super Nintendo, so like cartridges, CIB, sealed. A lot of people don't know that you can grade your cartridges with your CIB games. So
Right, it's not all just about sealed. You can get, like if you've got a rare card-only game, might as well get it graded.
yeah, or your childhood favorite. Like,
Yeah, something to display.
yeah, exactly.
Very cool, thanks Matt.
Yeah, thank you, Brett.
All right, hit a very cool table here because they've got some hard to find games like Ice Trek for the Intellivision, one of the toughies for the console. Nice copy of Sonic and graded by CGC, as we were just discussing. Ooh, they do have a boxed copy of Ristar. Is that how you say it? I don't even know. Ristar? Robo Aleste, a great shooter, getting harder and harder to find. Awesome. Phantasy Star 4, obviously a grail for many people. Sonic Adventure and Sonic Adventure 2. These kind of divided some Sonic fans. Some people were disappointed they weren't 2D and just straightforward action, but a lot of people liked the open world, relatively speaking, environments of the games. Ooh, speak to me. Box and television, including my favorite Intellivision game of all time, Beauty and the Beast. Sort of like Donkey Kong, but in my opinion, a better game. $20 for a boxed Microvision, not too shabby.
Open it up, man. It's got like a whole bunch of other different modules in there too.
Really? And all of it's $20?
20 bucks. It's a steal.
Wow, and even a Merlin manual. Got all kinds of random stuff in here with it. Ooh, Connect 4. Very cool. I might have to be back to take a closer look. $20. Awesome. Newly released or recently released by Atari. Atari Age, I think?
It's Atari XP.
Atari XP. Okay, yeah, I remember seeing these and thinking, those are kind of pricey, but very cool.
Open to offers on stuff.
Gotcha. Collection of Mana for 20 bucks. That seems like a bargain. TurboGrafx Mini. Here's my booth. They offered me a table along Celebrity Row over there, or guest row, but I said I'd rather be mixed in with the vendors because books actually seem to sell more books when I'm with the vendors because people tend to circle back and, you know, go to these booths more and more. My lovely bride, Carice, is helping me this weekend, and it's always fun to hang out with her at shows. Much better than doing it by myself or with randos. Always cool to see imports. And it's interesting how the box art on the Super Nintendo games overseas, the Super Famicom games in Japan, or have a vertical art as opposed to the horizontal design in the US. Here's yet another rarity, a Sega Nomad. Plays Genesis games on the go, or you can hook it to your TV. And with case for $250. Not cheap, but you know, they're hard to find. Luckily, I got mine at a garage sale many years ago. Some very nice boxed NES stuff. So let me know in the comments if you know what this quote is from. I'll give you just a second. It is from Clerks, Kevin Smith. Very cool. I really like the red design of the Wii. Unfortunately, I only have the common white version, but the red really pops in my opinion. And you got some consoles there. Always love to see the box Commodore 64 stuff. Wizard of War, that's a hard one to find in the box. Can I take a look? Yeah, I'll just show that up here. Very cool. 100 bucks and no manual, fair enough. Very hard box to find, thank you. Joe and Mac 2, I was just playing that on the Game Boy the other day. Definitely a toughie. That's a little 2-pack with Little Mermaid and Cinderella, awesome. You guys know how much I love The Little Mermaid. Mine are 2049er. This one was played a lot. You can tell where they put their thumb on the cartridge when they would plug it in and unplug it. Nicely played, very well played game. As it's in, I played my my copy of Mortal Kombat of Microfun's Miner 2049er many times, and my cart started looking the same way. Which is how a game should be played, especially a great game like Miner 2049er. Whoa, check it out, an original Magnavox Odyssey from 1972.
It is indeed.
Complete, it looks like.
Complete.
Wow.
It's been recapped.
Recapped.
All the resistors checked for proper value.
So right out of the box, you can play it.
Right out of the box, and I did a composite mod, which is fully reversible.
That's amazing, man. Great stuff. Boy, I've come to the right booth. This is my generation. Talking about my generation, right. I remember when you could easily find these base Commodore 64s. You could plug it right into your TV, plug a cartridge in and play. You just need an Atari joystick basically. And you could find them at $10, $12 at thrift stores all day, but now, not so much. VIC-20, look at this Gorf box. That is so cool. Love it. VIC-20, obviously not as powerful as the 64. The 64, they still say the 64 is the most successful retail release of a computer of all time in terms of just sales numbers. TRS-80, or some people call it the Trash 80. XE plays Atari computer games, 8-bit, but it's a console, sort of. Awesome. Man, there's a lot of retro stuff here. This is great. And just a big old fat box of mostly common 2600 games. And then some more desirable stuff up here, looks like. Polaris, that's kind of a toughie. Pitfall, not hard to find, but very desirable. These double enders, did you guys ever have these? I've got a few of them. Chuck Norris, an early beat 'em up.
No. So on a leg, you have to take like, what, in 45 years?
This is something you don't see every day, a Super Mario World pinball machine. That is really cool, a little tabletop machine. That is really neat.
This still works, by the way.
Oh, it still works, that's cool, good to know. Oh, nice. Ah, that's cool, man.
1988.
Awesome. These little LCD games are fun to collect. The games aren't the greatest, but they're fun to have and display. This is the second video game summit I have done, and this iteration is definitely much bigger than the first one. Just a ridiculous amount of great stuff here.
You're welcome, man.
Sightbox. The black box titles, there were 30 of them, and a lot of people are trying to put together a complete set of CIB black box games. Pretty tough to do nowadays, especially with games like Donkey Kong Junior Math, and there's some tough ones. Interesting booth here with some Sega Saturn peripherals. Ooh, 3DO games. Sealed copies of Wildlife Country Club, originally $59.99. Such a bargain. Ooh. Play Sega Master System games on your Game Gear. That's cool. Crash for 10, not bad for a pop toy. That's kind of my limit. I've been buying a pop toy here and there, and about 10 bucks is my cutoff limit for what I want to pay. 15 for Super Monkey Ball. For the Switch, not bad. My daughter's a big fan of Super Monkey Ball on the GameCube, so I may have to check that one out. 32X, I've said this many times, but I remember when Toys R Us was blowing these out for $9.99. Here's a used one in the box for $200. $375 for the Turbo. Super Mario on the new movie on DVD. I need to pick up the Blu-ray for that. Holding out for the Blu-ray. Definitely have some good stuff at this table, including some very hard to find Saturn games.
Yeah.
Awesome. Highly desirable PS1 stuff, R-Types, great little collection of side-scrolling shooters, love it. Chi-Chi Robo, I remember hearing about this one being hard to find and stumbling across one at a garage sale. Very lucky. Game & Watch collection. It's so cool that they ported these to the DS and the Game Boy. Some of those old little black and white Game & Watch games are still a lot of fun. I've stumbled across something interesting here. Some factory sealed games at reasonable prices. $75 for Clue, that's in pretty good condition. And then you've got Monopoly, that is $45. Any sealed game from the 8 or 16-bit era, if you can get for under $100, seems reasonable. Tom and Jerry for $40. And Wheel of Fortune, $15, guys. That's not bad at all. Now some harder to find games here, CIB, but then check this out. This is a fantastic game on the Genesis. World of Illusion, $20 sealed. Yeah, it's got some boxware, but so what? Crack that sucker open and it's a blast to play. Same applies to Sonic Classics. That's a steal at $25 sealed. Open that sucker up and act like it's the 90s again. And we've also got Jungle Book sealed for $100. Great game. And another great one, Toy Story. $20, guys, amazing. Very nice. I love the covers for these import games. It's just cute as all get out. A lot more imports here than I thought there would be. Didn't really know what to expect from this show. It's a new venue. I've only done the show once before. Man, the vendor selection here, the variety is really impressive. Guys, check these out. These are repro signs, but they look absolutely amazing. And even being repros, there aren't a lot of them floating around, so they're really cool to see. And check this one out as well for the NES with the Super Mario 2 on the design. So amazing. These figures are really cool as well. Video game provisions, buy, sell, and trade. Check out this little Game & Watch. Mattel handheld. Great stuff.
Yeah, Armor Nexus.
There's been some renewed interest in the Wii and the Wii U. Collectors are starting to look seriously at these systems and putting together complete sets. One of my favorites for the console, Bayonetta 2, great game. Super Mario 3D World, been playing that a lot lately. Great stuff. Oh, sorry. Pink Goes to Hollywood. I played that game way too much. It wasn't great, but somehow I found it fun. How does that work? Rainbow Islands.
They were fun.
Right.
That's a fun 2D game.
Oh yeah, a lot of great platformers on the Genesis.
Okay? Bye-bye. Yeah, I got YouTubers taking on stuff.
It's going well, man. Just trying to get some, you got it, just trying to get some cool footage of the show. There's such a great variety of vendors here. Such a cool amount of stuff for sale. Just mind-blowing. You could even get some really bougie, high-dollar shoes while you're here. Very cool. Football helmets, you just never know what you're going to find at a retro gaming con.
Except for like the construction workers, so be seen at night.
Ah, okay, gotcha, yeah.
City workers.
When I walk my dog, I need to wear clothes like that instead of my black t-shirts. Much safer.
Never have to ask.
This tote, guys, dig through, find some bargains. Super Famicom stuff. Master System. Underrated console in my opinion. I love the 3D games on the Master System, most of them anyway. Sky Kid on the Famicom. Very fun shooter. All right, sir. Tell us about your channel if you don't mind.
Hey Brett, Gary from Rocksolid Productions here, and much like you, I'm into modern and retro gaming, and one of the things that I have fallen in love with in recent years, not just going to conventions, but 3D printing too. It's one of the things, you know, you've got a huge collection, I've got a decent sized collection. How do you display it? How do you store it? How do you keep it safe? And that's what I've done, and you know, now bringing that type of thing to everybody out there. So thank you, my friend, for everything that you do for the community as well. We appreciate you.
Very kind of you to say. I really appreciate that. And check out these 3D printed signs. These will look amazing in the game room. They light up, and they're just as cool as all get out. If you're a retro gamer, just amazing. Rock Solid is a rock solid YouTuber. Check him out. Man, there are so many vendors here. I can't even.
I know. I was shocked at how many people were here.
Yeah, it's incredible. I can't even capture everything. But I'm doing. This is when I got my Xbox, guys. I bit the bullet. I wanted an Xbox, but I wasn't super convinced. But when they came out with this Halo edition, I had to jump on it.
Yep.
Absolutely. Superman 64, the greatest Superman game of all time. He said sarcastically. I remember they even had those available at GameStop where you could play them on the kiosks.
Yep.
And man, that hurt sales. That could not have helped.
No. Nope.
It would have been better just to put the boxes out there and have people buying them blind.
Take care, man.
Chip and Dale 2, man.
Yeah.
That's a grill for a lot of people.
Good game.
Yeah, it is. It's a lot of fun.
But no stadium event, so everything's just extra for NES for me now.
Right. So you're getting rid of your collection.
No.
Oh, no.
Extra stuff,
Okay, extra stuff.
Extra stuff. This is all
Yes,
extra.
that's how I roll. I'm
Yep.
keeping my collection.
Yep. Yes, sir.
Gunstar Heroes, man, that's like a sort of an anime-infused Contra on steroids,
Yes.
basically.
Yeah. Put 2 treasure games back to back.
Yeah, that's cool. And one of my favorites, Gaiaris, and you knew how to pronounce that because of the T-shirt.
The T-shirt, yes, that's correct.
Right. You know your stuff, sir.
Yeah, I tried.
All right, thanks a lot,
No
man.
problem.
Amazing. A fan of my channel sent me Catherine for the 360, and I was very thankful. I did a YouTube video on climbing games, and they thought I might like Catherine. I love the aesthetics. I loved it theoretically, but man, I sucked at it. So I had to quit. I just couldn't play it. Virtual Boy Boxed is always amazing to see. All right, guys, we got Gastro here. We've got Jeff Lee, the co-creator of Qbert, very cool. And we've got Paul Niemeyer, who did the artwork, the original design for Mortal Kombat.
He owes me money.
Paul owes Paul money. I'm so confused. Paul's a good buddy of mine. We always have a good time going to conventions. We party our asses off.
This is true. All of that is true.
What's going on tonight, man?
Well, let's see. I got 2 new pieces actually. I got this one I'm doing. Gods of War Ragnarok. That is a poster for the Phoenix show for John.
Oh, very cool. So this is going to be at the Phoenix show, like to help advertise Game On Expo.
Yeah, and then the black and white piece I did for the coloring book
Uh-huh.
for Old School Gamer magazine. I did a color version here. And,
Oh, that's awesome. This is for Old School Gamer?
yeah, so that's pretty much all the significant games I worked on from 82 to 92.
Well, these are some of my favorites. Super Pac-Man, Tapper, Tron. Gorgeous artwork, man. I love it.
Thank you.
Oh, speaking of favorites, Satan's Hollow. That's one of my favorite games of all time.
Yeah, I stuck Satan there right in front of Tron there.
Right. Satan lording it over Tron. Does it get any better than that?
No, I don't think it does.
Thanks a lot, man.
Take care, brother.
Great stuff. And you've got Brian F. Collin, the co-designer of Rampage. I got his autograph earlier. Super nice guy. Another friend of mine that we like to party at gaming conventions.
Yes.
So are we doing any partying, drinking tonight? Anything like that going on?
As you know, I don't party or drink at any time unless I'm working. So
I have no idea what that
plan on
means.
working well into the night. So yeah.
All right, good
If
stuff.
it ends with a fist fight, we'll make sure we get pictures.
Mortal Kombat style. All right, awesome. We can get Paul involved.
There you go.
Thanks, man. And we've got Paul Nim. Now, the cool thing about Paul's booth here is not only does he have some, really cool, desirable stuff up top here, and not only is he a video game world record holder, not only does he have Atari stuff, he's got dollar boxes. You guys know I love dollar boxes, and they're extras from deluxe edition DVDs and Blu-ray sets. He rips them apart and sells the insides. Why he does that, I don't know, but kind of cool. And there's his trading card slash award for Phoenix.
This was before the cards came out.
Before the cards came out. So this is just like an award, a plaque.
This was a launch party for the International Video Game Hall of Fame Museum in Iowa.
Uh-huh.
This was right before they officially made it. So
Got it.
Yeah.
Well, Phoenix is one of my favorite games of all time. Like legitimately top 10.
2600 or arcade?
Arcade. The 2600 version's a little too easy.
Okay.
But I like it, but the arcade one, man, I'm all about it. Thanks, Paul.
You're welcome, Brian.
All right, we are at the booth of one Patrick Hickey Jr., good friend of mine, great dude, and he is now a comic book publisher writer, voice actor, and very obviously a video game author with the Minds Behind the Game series. Pat, what say you? Why are you in Chicago?
I'm here to sling some comic books and to spread the lore of video game history, Brett.
That's awesome. You know, for a nerd, you're kind of striking an imposing figure.
Yeah, kind of.
You're kind of a badass.
I try.
Well, thanks, Pat. I'm glad, and thanks to your family for, you know, letting us borrow you for a while for this show.
They did.
Right, man. And last and certainly not least is Old School Gamer Magazine. I write for this magazine. It's super fun. You can subscribe. Just go to oldschoolgamermagazine.com. They've got bundles of mags here for sale. They've got merch. They've got cool girls working the stands. Women, girls, that's kind of a sexist term at this point. These are women. And having a great time here at VGS, Old School Gamer Magazine. And guys, just check out the scope of this show. It is quite overwhelming. I'm glad to be here. Let me know in the comments what games you saw in this video that might have, you know, surprised you to see here. Let me know what you think of Video Game Summit. Have you been here? And Chicago in general. Love me some Chicago. All right, guys, I'm going to get back to my table and then we'll take a look at some sites in Chicago.
We are here at a half-price books. Brett is a diva and demanded that we drive him around. I have to open doors for him as well.
Even though we have half-price books in Fort Worth, they're all different because they sell used books, used movies, and all that good stuff. I did find a couple of items at half-price books that I'll show you guys in just a second, but first going to go into disc replay, movies, games, and music. This is apparently the largest one. I did find a couple of items at half-price books, including Star Trek II Photo Story, just at $1.49. I love these that have the sort of fumetti type situation where you've got pictures from the film and the story. Awesome. Casablanca 2-disc special edition, factory sealed for $2 freaking bucks. And at Disc Replay, I got Kiss Rock the Nation Live for just $10. And these gentlemen up here are talking about where to go for dinner, and apparently we're gonna get pizza again because, you know, we're in Chicago. Hey guys, we are now at Galloping Ghost, the self-proclaimed largest arcade in the world. Now, I've already done a video of this arcade on my channel, so not much reason to do another one, but I wanted to show you this disappointment, Monster Bash. Last time I was here, I played it for like 5 seconds and it went out. I saw this game advertised in Electronic Games Magazine back in the early 80s, and I've always wanted to play it. It's like got cartoonish, Universal style monsters, the classic monsters. It appears to be a Donkey Kong type game. I don't want to play it on MAME. I want to play the original arcade version. This is the only one I've ever seen, but again, it's not working. Last time I was here, it just went out. Otherwise, this is an incredible arcade. They've got a lot of cool, rare stuff. But let's hit some more Chicago locations. We're at the Art Institute, a must in Chicago. I'm here to cover the Van Gogh exhibit for Antique Week and just check out the General Museum. Awesome place. I'll just show you a couple of paintings inside. Picture of Dorian Gray from the 1940s film. Check it. This is where Route 66 began. And you know why Cars 2 sucked? Because it was not about Route 66. Pointless movie. Sorry, fans. Guys, this water feature defies description. These massive art installations here, and they spout water. The kids love playing in them. It's one of the most popular tourist attractions in Chicago, as you can see. Just incredible, and all the kids are excitingly waiting for her to spout some water. It could be a while though, so we'll check you later. And we'll check out some more sites of Chicago here in just a second. We've been to Chicago 3 times, and we never get tired of the Bean, this amazing sculpture. Huge people magnet, as you can see. Lots of people come down for this because there are just so many angles, and it reflects the city. It's just crazy. Let's take a quick look at it. And you can see me there. Hi. Weird, wild stuff. Here's a little better look at it from afar. Pretty wild. Hey guys, here's the view from our hotel. I think I'll wrap up the video here. It's getting a little long, don't want to keep you all day. Let me know in the comments if you've been to Chicago, what are your favorite Chicago sites? And let me know if you've been to Video Game Summit. Thanks for watching guys, we will talk to you in another video.